As always, going to start with a quick review. Simplest definition for what is marketing: putting the right product in the right place at the right price at the right time. Talked about the marketing mix, that it's a four factors. We talked about it being the four P's, four pizzas: pizza, product, price, place, and promotion. Again, I don't really care what order you say them in. They're all connected. They can severely impact each other. They can all severely destroy your business if you're not careful. You can also make a lot of money with them if you handle them right. Okay, you can control them individually. I'm going to just change the price, but do know it's going to impact everything around it. The product may be different, where you can send it to, place, how you're going to promote it. All of that changes. Okay, needs a lot of research to understand. Got to know what you're doing. Talked about needs, wants, and demands. Need: something required for a healthy life. There's four basic needs: roof over your head, food and water, basic health care and hygiene, and clothing. Talked about wants: things that are normally shaped by society on social media for a lot of us today. We talk about demands. You got to have money to make demands. And we talked about our need, want, demand scenario. I need food. I want McDonald's. I demand a Big Mac with no pickles. And I also don't like mustard. So no mustard. So need, want, demand. Demand, very specific normally can be. And that's where you have to have money. You have to be able to have money to buy it. We talked about theories in which will sell the most units. Again, go back to this one. This is important. You need to know that. Which will sell the most units? Probably needs. You're going to have a lot of competition. Which will sell the least amount of units? Demands. Probably not a lot of competition. Not as many people have the same demands. Which will allow you to make more money? Demands, I would say, we could mark those up really, really high, make a lot of money because people have to have it. Which will have the most competition? Needs. Everybody shares the same needs. Which will have the least amount of competition? Demands. My demands are different than yours, are different than hers. Opportunity cost: I'm not going to give up another opportunity for this cost. Talked about product life cycle yesterday, our four stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. The things you want to focus on a lot: we talk about sales. Introduction, probably not going to be a lot. A lot of people might not know about us. Growth: sales are going up. We're starting to make some more money. Maturity: our sales are starting to level off. They're starting to plateau. We're not making as much as we used to. And decline: our customers are going down, so we're not making as much money. Competition kind of goes the same way. Competition, introduction might not be a lot. Growth, a lot of competition. Maturity, it'll start to level off. Decline, well, they're falling too. All right, so they're not going to have as much competition. We talked about some ways to extend the product life cycle. Increasing the number of users, probably the best one. All right, getting more people to know about it, how often they're using it, new ways for them to use it. We talked about supply and demand, things we really need to take away from supply and demand. We talked about a surplus and a shortage graph. This one might be a little bit easier. Surplus: supply exceeds demand, prices are going to go down. There's lots of stuff, people don't want it. Shortage: demand exceeds supply, more people want it, there's probably more money available. Shortage: prices are probably going to go up. People are willing to pay for it. They demand it right now. Equilibrium: again, trying to find that happy place where supply and demand are equal. Doesn't really happen a whole lot. You might get lucky. Today, we're going to talk about a few things that are and might not be related at the same time, but things we need to know from marketing as we're moving forward. So today we talk about there's influences on consumer behavior. So how consumers act and why they act that way. So those are their influences. We break things down to be internal or external. With our internal influences, we look at those as personal and psychological things. Those are internal to us. Our external things are culture and also our social factors. Those are external things. So internal things that are inside of us, we may have some control over these, maybe not as much. And how much control we have over our behaviors varies a lot. There's a lot of different factors and things that go into it. So age, that's personal. Income, how much you make. Occupation, where you work. Lifestyle, personality. Those are personal things. Psychological, we look at more things that might be mental or in your head. Motivation, perception, learning. Yeah, those are all psychological, mental things. Beliefs and attitudes. Again, those are psychological. Culture, we have our culture that you live in, your subculture, who you're a part of, and your social class. Now, there's a break here, so you got to make sure you remember this. Cultural factors are what social class you are in. Right? Social factors, however, who's around you, your family, your reference group, so your friends, and then your role and status within your group. All right, those are social factors. So things to remember: internal, external, personal and psychological being internal, and then culture and social being external. We talk about a consumer decision making process, and that there's 5 steps. And we all kind of go through these. We might not realize it. Some of us might take a little bit longer at one than the other. So, first, need recognition. I need something. Probably for most of us, it might be demand. Demand recognition. I want this. So, number 2, search for information. Going to find out about what it is, make sure it's what I want it to be, and it's going to work how I want it. We do this a lot with big purchases, all right, because you don't want to just throw money away. Number 3, evaluate alternatives. Well, I could maybe get this one, or I could maybe get that one, or what if I got this instead? Number 4, you make your decision and you make your purchase. I bought it. And then number 5, post-purchase evaluation. I really like this, or I really don't think this was the right thing for me. So again, we all hit those same 5 steps. It might not be as dramatic or last long for some of us. Need recognition, search for information, evaluate alternatives. What else out there is there? I'm going to make a purchase. I bought one of them, and now I'm going to tell you whether I like it or not. Probably on social media, I'm going to tell you whether I like it or not. And the last thing that we're going to talk about, our USP, right? How can you make your company more visible to the customers you are trying to reach? We need something that makes ours stand out. We need to be unique. How can you make your message cut through the clutter so they will really hear it? Again, we need ours to cut through so you hear ours. Ours stands out. Ours is unique. You may have a unique product, but if you're not communicating its benefits to your target market, you are, lost my little bottom there, you're going to lose out. All right. You got to be able to communicate what makes you special, what makes you stand out. You got to be able to get that out to your audience. A USP answers this question for the customer. And this is a good question. We just talked about this with evaluating alternatives. Why should I buy from you instead of from someone else? The USP is based on a benefit that is specific and exclusive to your company. It's unique to you, something that can't be found anywhere else. No one else has this. It's unique. That factor that is shown to be the basis of why one product is better than its competitors is called a unique selling proposition. USP, unique selling proposition. What makes your product stand out from everyone else's? Answer the question that we said, why should I buy from you? Why should I buy yours and not theirs? Every product should have certain characteristics that separate it from its competitors. You got to have something that sets you apart from everyone else. You got to be able to answer that question. If a customer can't answer that question, why are they going to buy your product? They can be characteristics of the product, the offer, the guarantee, the price, the placement, any combination of these elements. It can be a lot of different things, right? But what makes your product unique? Why is it special? Why should I buy it? These characteristics, or set of characteristics, help solidify a company's market position and allows them to stand apart from competition. And that's what we want to do. We want to stand apart from everyone else so that people know us and buy us first. So we talk about USP. Number 1, got to be easy to communicate. It can't be hard for me to explain to the customer what makes my product special. The harder it is for me to explain it, the harder it's going to be for them to remember it. It's got to be meaningful to them. I might have the USP, and I might think it's cool, but if that customer doesn't value it or it's not meaningful to them, well, then they're probably not going to be needing my product. So we have to find some way to connect. Again, got to be specific. A USP must create desire and urgency. Got to make people go want it. Must be able to be fulfilled. We can't say that this is the best in the universe because it might not be the best in the universe. Right? It's got to be something that we can truly fulfill. Can't say it'll make you lose 100 pounds if it won't make you lose 100 pounds. And number 6, a USP must last for the life of the product or brand. It can't only be for 20 days. Because then why are people going to buy our product? After 20 days, are they going to go buy something else? We want to make sure that they're using our product. So want to make sure that it lasts for the life. So some ways to have a USP. Start with a great product. You're going to have something that people really need, a great product. Conduct reliable research on the needs, wants, and buying motivations of your target market. Okay, how are we going to get this out to the people that need it? Rank your company in relationship to your competitors. Are we number one? Because we can't say we're number one if we're not going to be putting forth that effort. Articulate your unique selling proposition. Got to be able to explain it to people. Number 5, integrate your unique selling proposition into all aspects of your business. Make that the focal point. Integrate it. Get it in there. Make sure people are knowing about it. And step 6, it says to just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it.